Alright, hello and welcome everyone. This is the Pan Am 6 hours of Paul Ricard. We're 2/3 of the race distance through already. So just going to bring you the last 2 hours of the race and give you a bit of a rundown of what the story is so far. And at the moment it's the number 793 McLaren leading the way. So Aiden Hasselbrock is in the car at the moment. Matt Byrne is his other teammate, as well as T Farmer. So it's a 3-driver team in the number 793 McLaren that's currently leading the race. Then you've got Wilson Fernandez and Ronan Medina in the 888 McLaren. So it's McLaren 1-2 at the moment. So Medina's in the car. Fernandez is his teammate. Then you've got in third place, Myers is in the car, and Tonin Myers with Kevin Forney is his co-driver in the number 63 McLaren. Sitting in fourth and the owner of the fastest lap of the race, it's Eugene Gonchuruk, Mikhail Korniev, and Maxim. Just stick with Maxim in the number 27 BMW. That's a little bit too tricky for me to say. Number 5, I just don't want to butcher that name. In fifth place, you've got Olya Athor, as well as Pavel Vinogradov. That's a familiar name. In the number 495 BMW there in fifth place. Then you've got Orhun Islu in sixth, and his co-drivers Khan Bekaroglu in the number 24 Ferrari. Nicely presented Ferrari as well. Where have I been? Yeah, I've been sleeping. Cricket has been keeping me up to very, very early hours of the morning over the last few days. So, yeah, 7 a.m. start on a Sunday after going to bed at 3:30 is not ideal. Who else have we got? Liam Curran and Chris Bozzik in the number 11 Lamborghini. They're sitting in 7th place. Matt Artem in 8th position in the number 25 Audi. His teammate is Juan Carres. Often find him in a Porsche, but in an Audi for this particular race. In P9, it's the 100 Ferrari. The driver in there is Gregory Moser, and Ely Ponset is Gregory's teammate. Lucas Keys in the number 10 Lamborghini. Mattia Porter is his teammate today as well. Then you got the number 12 Porsche. It's a 3-driver team, so Augusto Greibel, Eduardo Diniz, and Thiago Michel sitting in 11th position at the moment. Then you've got Jamal just stay with Jamal, and Vincent Toket in the 956 Ferrari there, heading up the Mistral Straight. Then you got Retro Coffin and Chris Rise. Chris Rise in the car at the moment. The last GT3 round wasn't broadcast either. I had a prior commitment, so it was my birthday last weekend, so I had a few things on. That's why. But I'll be back to business as usual from now on. Who else have we got? Rodrigo Bianchi is in the car at the moment. Another 3-driver team. Gianni Capri and Hudson Joe in 14th in the number 82 Ferrari. The number 263 Ferrari, it's Riccardo Sapien in the car at the moment. Daniel Vicosa is his teammate in there as well. Another 3-car team. It's the Ranch Blasters. We've got I'm Not Jimmy in the car at the moment, Brad Lee and Curtis Ruston. So the number 69 Lamborghini there, doing well in P16. 17th is Bennett Lur. He is partnered by Mihaly Cepez. Man, there's some hard surnames in here today. And then Arias Nadashiko. I do apologise if I butchered anyone's names. Jose Lima in the number 57 Ferrari, another 3-driver team. Jose Vasconcelos and Antonio Ferreira in 18th position. 19th position is Spencer Guthrie with John Paulo Yulong, who's in the car right now, and then Kevin Barfield, and then Ryan Valentine and Zach Troxel in the 128 Mercedes-Benz in P20 right now. So, leading the race, let's have a look at what we've got in terms of gaps. Probably closest cars on the circuit right now. Augusto Gribble. A bit of an idea on lap times as well for everyone. So in the final 2 hours, what's happened to Lucas Keys here? He's just into the pits. Both of these guys. So maximum stint timer is 65 minutes for these guys. So lap times right now. So the fastest lap of the race belongs to the number 27 BMW. So in there at the moment is Maxim. So the number 27 Ferrari. What have we got? So the number 27 BMW. Their best time of 53.840 is the fastest lap of the race. They put in a 54.720 last lap. So a second off the fastest time of the race. So pretty good pace. The 54.792 is what Hasselbrock did the last lap around. Mendina in the 888 McLaren did a 55.955, and then Myers did a 55.150. So the pace, we're around the sort of the high 54s to mid 55s right now amongst the top guys. And we've got some pit stops happening at the moment. The number 24 Ferrari in there. Lucas Keys just making his way out of the pits right now. So Mattia Porter is in the car for this stint. Just having a look throughout the field. All pretty big gaps right now. If anyone has anything in the chat that they want to bring up that's happened in the first 4 hours of the race, please do. Moser making up time on Oslu, so this is in 9th and 10th. So Moser in the 100 Ferrari's just come out of the pits. So yeah, Oslu, sorry, Oslu has just come out of the pits. Great track, Paul Ricard, one of my favourites, that's for sure. Obviously have the signature straight, the Mistral straight. The track conditions were set to be on the colder side of things at the moment, optimum. So we've got 16 degrees air temperature, 18 degrees track, which is still relatively cool. Yeah, the Mistral straight, 1.8 kilometers. So speed will definitely be a factor. Oh yeah, that is the Ferrari. What has happened there? Is that, yeah, that car's been in the wars from what I've seen. Let's see what we can pick up on the replay here. Oh, a little bit of contact and around he goes. So that was coming into, I think, turn 10 signs. So unfortunate for him. As we go back to live pictures. So yeah, I have seen that Ferrari in that kind of condition a little bit earlier when I jumped on. Where else were we? So we'll go back to these guys. So yeah, the Mistral straight at 1.8 kilometers in length. The circuit is 15 turns, 5.82 kilometers. And it can be quite a fun circuit, especially in terms of lap invalidations. We've got a few more pit stops happening as well, which is the perfect time because we'll reset all their timers. Give us the chance to get in sync. This is the number 495 BMW coming in. So Bozic is in P6 for Slipstream International, Australian team. These boys would have had to go up pretty early this morning, hence why I wasn't on. Don't know if I've got their full livery at the moment. I think it's missing a logo there, but anyway. So I thought still in there. That's the BMW making its way off. Ah, Vatic. What happened, Vatic? I would like to add, I only did 1.5 laps. What happened? Let us know. Here's Bozic into the pits now as well. Hasselbrock into the pits. So this was our race leader. Myers just coming through the final turn now. So the 63 Lamborghini will take a position away from Hasselbrock. In the meantime, the 888 McLaren is now in the lead. Bozic still in the pits. Let's have a look at pit stop times. No, still going. Around about 104, 107 is about the par time by the looks of things. 105 Hasselbrock did. So 1 minute and 6 seconds. He's away now. There he goes. He's off. And then Medina currently in the lead. So definitely joined at a good time. So just to remind everyone, so it is the max driver's stint, 65 minutes. The weather will favour colder, dry conditions. What else do we have here? Oh, there's prizes as well. How cool is that? There's prizes. So there's a keychain trophy for first, second and third. You can check them out on the Discord. There is some monetary rewards as well. So $10 for the fastest lap. So +3 max off lead lap. Most positions gained, no sandbags allowed. Most positions lost and finishes the race. And overtake of the broadcast. There we go. So the next 2 hours, let's keep an eye out for good overtakes. And we've got in the 793 Byrne has now taken over in that McLaren. So Hasselbrock finished his stint. Medina, no doubt, will be coming in shortly. Vatic, I messed up my fuel, started with 10 litres somehow. Also, I spun and had to leave soon after I gave up. Also had damage from incidents. Right. Chris Rise, long race, running with Retro in this. He's going to make some ground now. All right. Hopefully we'll keep an eye on that Retro coffin down there in P14 and the 937 Porsche, not the Ferrari. Is it the Lady Liberty livery that he's got on there? Not too sure. Doesn't look like it. He usually runs that black livery as well in the regular championship as Moser comes into the pits, the 100 Ferrari. So it's Gregory Moser. His teammates, he only has one teammate, and that's Ely Ponset. So yeah, some tricky names in here. I'll try and do my best with them as we go along. Who else do we have? Porter, yeah, Mattia Porter, Slipstream International. So talked about him earlier. No Gage Gonzalez. So I haven't seen his name in there, so not participating in this one. Just seeing, can't remember if there was live stewarding as well. Don't think there was. Yeah, that's about all I've got right now. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about speeds, weren't we? That's alright. So, alright, so top speeds. When is the next GT3 summer race? That is a very good question. I dare say it would be somewhere in the Discord. Maybe next week. It was going on a fortnightly basis. I think it was Suzuka last round. I'm not too sure. But you've got top speed. Who has the highest speed? So Lima in the number 57 Ferrari, currently down in 18th position. These guys have achieved a top speed of about 287 kilometres. So there's Valentine as well. So some guys lower in the field. 287 kilometers an hour. The number 27 BMW. F1 Memes Racing Team. Got their livery. Looks nice. I like it. Nice and striking. No live stewarding. Not enough people that could do it. Fair enough. Thanks, John Cannon, for the heads up. 286 kilometers these guys have hit. So it gives a bit of an idea. Race leader in the 888 McLaren, 282. So not quite as high. Myers, 285 kilometers. The slowest of the field. Oh, poor Retro Coffin and Chris Rise in there. 278 kilometers, those guys. Missed out by one. M. Byrne, 279. So that might just be for the driver's stints, though. I'm not too sure. Keep an eye on that. But I think it brings us all up to date with everyone. So Medina leading this one. Vacuum Racing, car number 888. The Brazilian. That's a BMW tucked in behind him, but that's not for position right now. That's the F1 Memes Team BMW. What else do we have in here? Yeah, so the 793, that's just begun its stint. So they're about 6 minutes in now. They were leading the race. So Mendina and Myers will need to pit shortly. As I mentioned, 65-minute stint timer, but because I started late, I'm not in sync with all of the stints right now. Just having a look through some of the chat as well. Looks like Retro Coffin talking about some people being a bit impatient, diving on the inside of hairpins instead of just waiting in the straight immediately. Doesn't really matter what level of sim racing you're racing at, does it? Because it's always the same. It's always the same. It's just to different degrees. Oh, Ferreira. What happened to you, Ferreira? Oh, I wonder what's happened here. So, just stationary. Where's that? I think that's just outside of the pits. That's into turn one. Yeah, and he's gotten going again. So, having some sort of difficulty. Did I see Chris Cooley in the chat? I think I did. I think I did see his name. That reminds me of what happened this past Monday. He was, speaking of like giving way to faster guys and whatnot, he was a faster guy. In the meantime though, the 956 Ferrari. Have a look at that. I don't know if that's if it's an in-game livery. That's quite nice though on the 956 Ferrari. So the number 12 Porsche Titan Racing takes away position as that Ferrari will take its stop. So we've probably got, I'd say we'll have a flurry of stops within the next sort of 15 minutes or so. Try and sync up for the final two maximum stint limits. Alright, so number 75. Where are we? Number 75. Number 75. Here we go. I saw this livery. It's quite nice. This is for you, bloody OCE. I don't think that was for position. That was for Rhea. Tricky corner, that last one. The car can flip around pretty easily. And then into turn one, this is where you can invalidate the lap pretty easily. But also because it does, there's like a little rise just there, and then just here. So the car gets a little bit light there. Can run it out to the maximum where those little yellow markers are. And then yeah, bring the car nice and wide. Into that apex, tricky, twisty part of the track. can use all of that curb as he does. And it's all a case of just getting on the power, being nice and smooth. And then you can climb all over that, yeah, and then don't want to run it out too wide. And then he winds it up for a 1.8 kilometre drive-through penalty for track limits. Car number 937. That's Retro Coffin, so he's not going to do their challenge any good right now. What is he? Oh, what speed does he get to here? Where's the speedo? I didn't see it. Yeah, can't run it any wider. And there's all markers on the outside. Such a brutal corner, this one through here. And you want to try and bring it out nice and wide. Yeah. It's a strangely shaped corner. And then this tricky little series of turns. Left. You want to try and, hook it in late. And then you got to kind of like snap it back here, clip the inside curb, and then run it again. So there's a lap for you for thanks John Paulo Yalung, Sim Racing Brotherhood team. 280, there you go. Thank you, bloody OCE in the chat there letting us know. 280 kilometers was the speed then up the Mistral Straight. So Retro Coffin coming in now just to serve that penalty for track limits. As mentioned, very, very easy to do around here. So unfortunately for him and Chris Rise, it's the timer on that. I think that was a recent pit stop for them, so he's got plenty left in his stint. Through cleared, Porter ducking through there as well. Matt Arden making his way into the pits in the number 25 Audi. He'll be handing it over to his teammate, that's Juan Carres. It's a pretty strong team there, two very capable drivers. So Uzlu will slip through. Curran is on his way in the Slipstream International Lamborghini, so he'll make his way through in the number 11. And a bit further down the track is Ponset in the 100 Online Sim Racers Ferrari. About a minute 5 was the total pit stop time, and I reckon he's going to be alright here. So Juan Carres in the car now, away he goes. So Ponset will make up a bit of ground, but will still find himself around about 20 odd seconds behind by the time Carres gets in the car. It's going to be tricky towards the end because you've got a 65-minute pit stint timer. So, and we're at 160, 99. Oh yeah, no, should be fine. We'll be completely fine. Having a look at this is a very peculiar coloured car, the number 56 Aston Martin. I like it, digging it. The pink or the peach or a light pink, whatever you want to call it. But behind the car is Bennett Lur. He's chasing down Retro Coffin, who recently had to serve a drive-through penalty for track limits, as Sapien is in the pits at the moment. Number 15 Ferrari. Let's go back to Lur, who I thought had Retro in front of him. I wonder if that's a disconnect there. I reckon it is, because I didn't see the yellow, so we may have lost one here. I'll keep an eye on the 263 Ferrari in the pits. How long has he been in there for now? 50 seconds. Alright, we'll just see how much longer he's in there for. In the meantime, we'll get back to Matteo Porta. 55 now. Ah, no, he's going. There he goes. All right, so my hunch was incorrect. So Porter is 3.7 seconds off Mikel in the number 12 Porsche. Last lap around, Mikel did a 55.360 to a 55.272, so chipping away slowly, but we'll need to take up bigger chunks than that in the remaining hour and 37 we have left right now. Quite a few Ferraris in the field as well. What have we got? 6 Ferraris, a couple of BMWs, a few Lamborghinis in there as well, an Audi, an Aston, and Mercedes. And some Porsches, a couple of McLarens. McLaren 1-2 right now, the 793 leading this one. 134 laps completed in the 4.5 hours almost so far that we've been running. Obviously haven't been broadcasting for that long. Yeah, plenty of big gaps. Let's see if I can find see if I can get who took pole and who started where, and that will give us a bit more of an idea on the situation of the race. But right now, at this point in a 6-hour Enduro, you're just thinking about going 4.5. We've come this far. We want to finish. We want to finish strong. And just making sure you have all your pit stop strategy sorted out, your fuel all organised. No single drivers, I think, in this race today. Yep, so all minimum of 2 drivers in every team. So it looks like there's 7 3-driver teams as well. I think 3 drivers is a pretty good number for a 6-hour Enduro. 2 still alright, but yeah, 3 hours in total. It's a big effort. 3 hours each, obviously. But these are the closest 2 cars on the track. Just trying to find out, get a little bit of information on who started where. Gives a bit more context to the race. Pace still in the 54s. So Fernandez and Myers did a 54.4 last lap around, separated by 3/100ths of a second. Byrne was half a second slower than those 2 guys. And then the 27 BMW was a 55.780, 3/10 faster than the car behind. So yeah, mid to high 54s right now seems to be the pace up front. Wouldn't mind head on board with one of the front runners shortly. I'm just doing a little bit of investigation to see how they're going. This is one of the other front runners. 27 BMW, currently P4 right now. Last lap at 55.5. There's two cars up ahead. The Audis. That's one car is in the car for Matt Artem, so he's just fresh in there. That's a lapped car. That's the Lamborghini of Yulung. Oh, I should go back to that actually. Sorry. We'll see that overtake getting done. There we go. Lets him through. No dramas. All good. Alright, so let's have a look at how our race leader is doing it right now in the 793 McLaren. 54.997 previous lap. It's a 14.2 second gap between Byrne and Fernandez. Myers is 30 seconds back. He's just letting us know the Lambo is a bit of a boat here. Got a little bit squirrely there on the entry into turn 10, but look at that, that's some nice lines through there. Oh, how late was that braking? That's good stuff. Oh, yeah, little mistake there, little snap oversteer. Trying to flip the end around, flip the rear around on him, but he's all good. Time that it does 55.295. So Fernandez takes a couple of seconds out of him on that lap. Porter just slowly chipping away at the number 12 Porsche up ahead. 2.6 seconds the gap between those two. 55.907 to Michelle, 55.617 to Porter. Drive-through penalty for track limits. That's Yulung in the number 75 Lamborghini. Unfortunate for him. So if the Lamborghini's a bit of a boat around here, that's definitely throwing out the anchor right now for him. So 3/10 faster this Lamborghini was. Can you see the Porsche up ahead? I think that is the Porsche just there. Number 12. So we can see it now. There you go. And that's the view from the rear of the Porsche that's being chased by the Lamborghini right now. So 90 minutes left of the 6 hours of Paul Ricard. Well, I think he was aiming for 1,000 kilometres. So the Porsche on that lap, a 56.377. A 55.717. So the Lamborghini significantly faster on that previous lap. Has plenty of pace. I think that was Retro Coffin just in the background, just running a little bit wide out of through 1 and 2. Another battle that we've got brewing is the number 956 Ferrari. Just tucked in behind Bianchi in the number 82 Ferrari. That's what 1.5 seconds looks like on the racetrack. And that's the number 69 Lamborghini, the Ranch Blasters. They're down in 17th right now. here we go. So this is Jamal. Behind the wheel. His teammate Vincent Touche. No doubt be watching him on as he hunts down the number 82 Ferrari Bianchi just up the road. And that original battle we were looking at, still 2.5 seconds between Porter and Mikel. It's a nice line through there. Oh, he got a good run. Out of 11. This is into 12. So this is Bianchi doing his best to hold off the Ferrari. Goes up the inside through the final turn and gets the job done. So nice move from the 956 Ferrari, and they move up a spot into P12 right now. So nice move. And oh, he's got to come back here into turn one, ducks up the inside. That was a nice move. It was a fairly big send though. Oh, then the 82 couldn't get the power down and almost lost it there. Let's have a quick look at how that came about. So he ran deep, and then that ripple strip just upset him there. Wasn't quite on the rise either, so just a little bit of trouble getting the power down. As we go back, and they're still duking it out right now. The 69 Lamborghini there, that's I'm Not Jimmy, so he's just an innocent bystander in all of this. He's trying to unlap himself. They go side by side up the Mistral Straight. Lamborghini versus Ferrari. Let's see how this ends up. Okay, nothing doing there. All right, so it's a bit of an awkward position. Oh, that's Jamal as well. He's running wide. So two other guys chasing him down, but only one of them is for position. The Lamborghini just trying to stay out of the squabble that's ahead of him. And then Porter and Mikel, it's 2 seconds now, the gap. These two will continue another lap. Oh, here we go. For the race start, that's alright. Oops. Cool. I wonder. Alright. Let's just stick with this because we've got a little battle going on here. And then Porter as well. I think there was someone else's stream. Oh no! That's a disconnect! Oh no! That is brutal! I'll just go to the replay. Yeah, there it is. We just saw it. So I think that was the Slipstream International Lamborghini. We're still on the replay here. There was a Lamborghini flying in the air. No, what? I'm not too sure what happened there. So I thought it was these guys. No, because there was the battle there. So, not too yeah, we have lost one. We've definitely lost one. Yeah, we have. Yeah, which one was it though? I thought it was the Slipstream Lamborghini. But we're down to 9. Or are they back? I'm not sure. Maybe a dodgy internet connection going on. Not too sure, but Porter... Yes, it was the 10. It was the 10 Lamborghini. It was the Slipstream. Because, yeah, this is the other Slipstream entry in P7. And these guys, so they've... Yeah, that was a disconnect, reconnect. So that is a very, very cruel blow this late in the race as John Paulo Yalung having some troubles there at turn 10. Oh, but that's, yeah, so they're going to have to get themselves, they'll be locked there for like 90 seconds or whatever it is. Oh, that is really, really bad luck at this stage of the race. 4.5 hours into a 6-hour enduro and you have that happen. That is heartbreaking stuff. So, got a feel for those guys. I wonder if they'll try and get out. They'll be locked for a little while longer in there. So, really, really bad luck for them. In the meantime, though, so just back to that one. So, who's that Lamborghini in there as well with them? I don't think that's Yalung. Yeah, so the timing screen you can see on screen has updated. So there's Jimmy. Oh, that's Lamborghini, the number 63. Oh, that's Myers. That's the P3 iron holder, position holder right now. So Antonin Myers gets his way through. Now, I was going to say, now the gap between Byrne and Fernandez has started to drop. It's at 9.4 seconds, 9 seconds. The last lap around from Byrne in the 7.93, our race leader, was a 55 flat. Fernandez did a 54.912. So it was around about 14 seconds at one stage. So I wonder what if there's been a little mistake there from Byrne or has been caught up in something. As the 263 Ferrari making up a position, so my timing screen just having to play a bit of catch up here. But Fernandez 54.912, 55 flat to Byrne on that previous lap. We'll see what Byrne comes out at, but it's 9.5 seconds. These guys will need to pit again. So we're still 14, almost 15 minutes away from the final pit stop stint limit, basically. Alright, so let's see if I can, in the meantime, so it's down to 8.8 seconds. 55.462 to Byrne on that previous lap. And a 54.980 to Fernandez. So Fernandez started to take some chunks of time out of our race leader in the 793 McLaren. And these guys are starting to make up ground rapidly, half a second at a time. And it was Keys, I do believe, yeah, the number 13. Not too sure if they're going to get back up and going again. But this is the story to watch right now. As I try and just find out a little bit. Where are we now? I saw a driver stream in here earlier. Here we go. Let's have a look if I can find out a little bit more information about the start of the race. Shout out to Ramirez Fisher. Oh, is this a gorilla? Is this like Gorilla Racing, whatever it is. Is that them? Gorillas Racing. Yeah, they do the they've done some stuff already with Pan Am. Let me have a look. See if there was a start of the race here anywhere. So this has only been going for 2 hours 39. Oh no, the way he's got his... Oh no, here we go. So... No, can't see it. No, can't see anything on there, unfortunately. Yeah. Alright, so... we just have to deal with what we've got. We've got 77 minutes left. So 12 minutes away from the final stint timer kicking in. Here's your Lung. I wonder if he'll hand it over to one of his teammates, three driver team. So Guthrie and Barfield are the other two drivers. It's at 8 seconds now. 55.580. So 6/10 again. Fernandez was faster on that previous lap. So Byrne not able to match the pace of Fernandez, who continues to hover in the high 54s. He just got the window wiper on. Had the window wiper on. So Long still in the pits. And then this little scrap here is settled right down. So Bianchi is 8.6 seconds off the rear of the number 956 Ferrari. We did have a little bit of on-track action there, but it's all started to settle down again. But we'll see if we get a flurry of pit activity in the next 10 or 11 minutes or so, because that will be the opening of the final stint window timer. Yes, I couldn't quite get any intel on the start of the race and who started where and whatnot. So we'll just deal with what we got. Fernandez continued to close the gap down, 7.6 seconds. Byrne did a 54.355 on that lap, a 54.612 to Fernandez. So he continues to close it down, 7/10 faster on that previous lap. The gap now under 8 seconds between him and the race leader. It's a McLaren 1-2. Myers sitting in third in the 63 Lamborghini. He did a 55 flat on that previous lap, as Fernandez is dealing with a little bit of lap traffic. I think that's Ferreira, it is. Manages to let him through nicely, and Fernandez underway. Here we go. So Lucas Keys, first my force feedback glitched and send us into a wall at 250 kilometers an hour, and then we disconnect. That is very, very unfortunate, Lucas Keys. That is, yeah, this late in the race. That's really, really cruel. That, unfortunately though, that is part of sim racing. Just like you can have mechanical dramas in a real race, the same, just in a different sort of medium in sim racing. So yeah, the emotions are still real and it still hurts the same. Not as expensive though, which is always good. Fernandez now down to 7.6 seconds the gap. Have a top speed advantage of a kilometre over Byrne. See what the lap times are this trip around. A 55.192 to Byrne and a 55.127. So after enjoying a pace advantage of around about sort of half a second plus over the last couple of laps, Byrne has now responded, and he's put in a 55.192 compared to a 55.127 to Fernandez. So perhaps has seen that gap decreasing. He's picked up the pace a little bit to try and match as we're inching closer and closer to the final 60 minutes of this one. It's been the Pan Am 6-hour Enduro, 1,000 kilometres. Paul Ricard. What a nice track to do 1,000 kilometres of as well. Big long 1.8 kilometre Mistral straight. It's a good opportunity to just take a mental break. It's not a particularly challenging circuit in terms of, you know, you're not always having to be on. You do get a bit of a mental break throughout the lap. Fast right-hander at turn 10 is always challenging. And then this sector 2 is quite the challenge from turns 11 through to 15, the final turn of the lap. Tyre wear isn't too bad around this circuit either. But really it's going to be a case of fuel consumption. Who can do it better? Let's see what time Byrne puts in. This is our race leader. He crosses the line. 55.175. And then Fernandez does a 55.005. So only a tenth in it. So Byrne's tightened things up. He's picked up the pace. Fernandez still marginally ahead, but only just. It's not the big gaps that we were seeing before of half a second plus. So this is Myers in third position. 54.730 was the lap time they put in the last lap, and then a 54.960 on this one. They're sitting in third. They're 32.7 seconds behind Fernandez. Then you got Eugene here in the number 27 BMW F1 Memes Racing Team. He's also 33 seconds behind Myers in the 63 Lamborghini. It's about 73 seconds off the lead. What sort of lap time does he do? 55.175 was his previous. 55.140. He's got some good pace in that BMW in this late stage of the race. A little bit further behind, 15 seconds, is Vinogradev. I like that crazy squirrel team. Like the orange livery. And there we go. Here's a very nice livery as well. Flashing his lights for Ferreira to get out of the way, and he does. In the number 57 Ferrari. Let's see if we can get a nicer look. It's like a Jaguar. Denzi Bank Wildcats. Yeah, right. Kind of looks like a little bit like the Jacksonville Jaguars logo. I like it though. Looks like there's been a fair bit of effort put into that. Looks very nice. They're putting in a good effort right now. P6 for the 24 Ferrari. 55 seconds off Vinogradev in P5. And then these guys having a good race as well. Liam Curran in Slipstream International. They're 8.1 seconds off the car in front of them, P6. Just an update on times as well between our leaders. Byrne, 55.122 to a 55.245 of Fernandez. So gap sits at 7.4 seconds, which is what this is between Curran and Uslu. One car is in the car right now. Just having a look at stint timers. Still 15 to 20 minutes away from most drivers. At least 20 minutes away for Byrne and at least 30 minutes away for Fernandez by my count. So that could be wrong because I got in the lobby late, but The 793 McLaren looking very, very strong right now. It's going to take something special to catch them. And that final pit stint timer window will be opening in about just a tick over 2.5 minutes. Drivers will be able to get in their cars for the final 65 minutes. You don't want to time it too perfectly though, because we have a look at Ryan Valentine. Does a lot of racing, Ryan Valentine. I notice he's involved in everything. Does generally find himself in the Mercedes as well. Seems to be his weapon of choice. So that previous lap between the leaders, 54.997 to Byrne. He was a tenth slower. There's Valentine running a little bit wide there. 54.817 to Fernandez. So Byrne is either struggling with something or has decided to respond, and that's where we find ourselves. 7.6 seconds is the gap between this man and this man just here. Two McLarens doing their thing. 150 laps have ticked over as well, so bit of a milestone of the race. 19 cars still running. Zilong making a pit stop. Oh, he's hit something somewhere by the looks of that. The bonnet. Here's Curran. So there's 7.1 seconds. Last lap, the 24 Ferrari being piloted by Uzlu. 56.267. Curran did a 55.197. Do on this lap around now. 55.715, so still 0.3 faster than Uzlu, so that gap just slowly coming down between the number 24 Ferrari, the Denzibank Wildcats entry, and the Slipstream International entry of Liam Curran and his teammate of Chris Bosick. Gap between the leaders is at 7.1 seconds. So by my calculations, Byrne has around about 18 minutes left in his stint timer, and Fernandez has about 28 minutes left. So see what the strategy brings of it. They would be able to pit now and make their way all the way home. Probably you want to give yourself a 2 or 3 minute buffer, just in case that you go the extra lap in terms of when the clock goes 000. Some joining in the wrong orders. Tell you what, there is in the chat there on Discord. RR boosted 45. Man, that's a cracking setup that he's got there. Looks pretty comfy, pretty snug. Digging it though. Looks ingenuity right there. Alright, back to the So, gap 6.9 seconds, 54.905, 55 flat to Fernandez on that last lap. So still just chipping away, 10th at the time. Curran and Uzlu. Curran was half a second faster on that previous lap between him and the 24 Ferrari. Other cars that are relatively close. Nothing else really going on right now. We've got a few cars out there. Looks like the 56 Aston Martin will need to pit in the next 6 minutes. 15 minutes Retro Coffin will hand it over to Chris Rise. We might double stint it on the way home. 15 more minutes. The 27 and the 495. And then the 3 cars ahead of him, they all still have a good 25 minutes left. Byrne has 16 minutes left on his timer. So we'll obviously need to pit again. And here comes the Aston Martin now, the 56. Yeah, right. Cool. Curran making up a bit of ground now. Second faster on that previous lap. 56.485, 55.447. So Curran just taking a chunk out there. Now down to 5.1 seconds the gap. And those two on very, very similar stint timers. So Uzlu at 55 minutes, Curran at 50. So a 5-minute difference between those two. As we're about to begin the final 60 minutes. Oops, wrong one. There we go, Curran. And looks like Nadeshiko will be getting in the 56 Ferrari. 56 Aston Martin. There he is. Peach coloured, pink coloured, whatever you want to call it. Maybe they're an I'm Not Jimmy fan. He loves the pink. Curran down to 5.3 seconds. Pick him up coming through turn 10. Last lap around for the leaders. So Ben has lost a little bit more ground. So 55.137 to a 54.850. So 0.3 faster on that last lap, Fernandez. So just turning up the wick a little bit. Now travelling in the 54s. That fuel load will obviously be becoming less and less, speeding up the car. So 6.4 seconds the gap between P1 and P2. And this little battle going on between the 24 Ferrari and Curran in the Slipstream International Lamborghini, the number 11. 55.452 to the Lamborghini, 55.855. And Bianchi is making his way into the pits now as well. That time is right on the limit. 1 hour, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. The stint timer stops the moment you cross the pit lane entry, not become stationary in your pit box. So 0.4 faster on that previous lap was Curran over Uzlu. Gap now into the 6s, 6.8 seconds between Byrne and Fernandez. It's going to be pretty good. It's going to be very, very interesting come the pit stops. So Byrne has another 10 minutes left on his timer. 20 minutes has Fernandez. So does Myers. The 27 BMW, the 495 BMW, they both have 10 minutes left. Uzlu has 8 minutes. Curran has 12. Yeah, this is going to be exciting little finish here as Bianchi still in the pits. Retro Coffin will take a position away, move himself up into P12. Him and Chris Rice. Let's get back to Curran. So it takes out another 4/10 on that previous lap. So a 56.162 to a 56.530. We will need a pit in the next lap or two. Curran will have another couple more laps than that to go. No one behind him. That was P3. That was Myers in the number 63 Lamborghini. So we'll get back to Curran. 4 seconds the gap between him and this man here. We can get speeds now. 281, 282, 383. What does Curran do? Only got to 281. There we go. I don't think. So we've got times, but that isn't where people started, unfortunately. Yeah. Alright. So 3.4 seconds, the gap now between these two. Oslu will need a pit in the next couple of laps. Curran won't be too far behind. And this is the pit, this is the stop. So Curran now, will he respond? Now Oslo's got to hit his marks here. Let's just stick with him. Oh, he's a relatively long pit lane. So Curran will continue on. This is the essentially the hammer time, if you like, is often referred to for Lewis Hamilton. But these guys... Looks like Oslu made a good stop there. So a minute 5 has been the par time. So he's got about another 25 seconds in there. And Curran just coming through up the Mistral straight now. So we'll see if he responds. Oslu's still in there. Been there for a little while longer. Another 5 seconds will be considered a good stop for him. 106, 107, 108, 109. 109 is the time that he does it in. So he's going to have to get out there. Looks like Oslu stayed in the car as well for the final stint. Now Curran. Let's see if they respond with a pit stop of their own. It's going to be a nice little tight race to the finish between P6 and P6 and... Well, Oslu's come down into P9. He's tucked in behind Ponset, but Ponset will need to pit still. This is 4th position. We're into the final hour. Just keep an eye on Curran as well. He's gone around for another lap. So not responding immediately. Their pit stop, their stint timer is at 57, almost 58 minutes right now. And that's the Mercedes of Valentine running very wide there at turn 10. Just staying out of the way for now. The 100 Ferrari with Ponset in it. So Curran continued around a 55.667, so 55.6 on that last lap. Oh, we've got yellow flags around. What about I'm Not Jimmy? That was a mistake by the looks of things. Let's have a look at the replay. Yep. Just turned around and a little flick spin, and away he goes again. So back to live pitches. Vinogradov is in the pits. Curran at the towards the end of his lap. See if he pits. Vinogradov is definitely in there right now. Here's where Curran is. The number 12 Porsche is in the pits. Will the number 11 Lamborghini join him? No, he's going to go for another lap. Alright, let's get back to this little battle here. This is fourth position, 8th and 9th. Top 10 finish is on the line right here at a 6-hour Enduro. That's a pretty big effort. Ferrari winding up. Having to go quite wide there in the end. Takes a tighter line through turn 10. Now into the tricky right-hander of 11. Off the curb on the inside. Seems to be able to take the tighter line. Oslu's been in the car for quite a while now, so he'll be right in the groove. Much different line than Ponset in front of him. But still, the 100, they haven't maintained its position. They are 7.5 minutes away from the end of their pit timer, their stint timer. They decide to make the stop now. Oh, no, he doesn't. Oh no, the number 12 Porsche just came out of the pits as well. So, he's had to take evasive action there at turn 1, and then he's turned the car around. No, he's managed to keep it facing relatively straight, only 180 degrees, so not the full 360 for him. And he's gotten going again as we go back to Oslu and Ponset, so in 8th and 9th, and then Curran is towards the end of his lap. There's the stint timer at for them, 1 hour and 1 minute. So I reckon this is probably going to be the lap. Just keep an eye on the number 11 to see if they pit. They're going to go around again. This is going to be really tight then for their stint timer. So they are now at 1 hour, 1 minute and 36 seconds. Whoa, they're absolutely maxing it out right here. And the two Ferraris are maxing it out on the back straight. They're going to go side by side into turn 10. The right-hander, the car 100, runs a little bit wide, and that opens up the door for Oslu, and in the end, gets it done pretty easily. So the 24 Ferrari's in a battle with the number 11 Lamborghini. 56.162. Oh no, the 27 BMW's in the pits. That's okay. They've got a pit stop in their pocket right now in between Curran and the 11 Lamborghini. So they're really the best they can probably do right now in the Slipstream International entry is P5, which is still a phenomenal effort. A 56.170 his last lap. Oslu did a 56.162, who they're in a battle with right now as he's coming through turn 10. Oslu has managed to get past and is now just driving away. He's almost 2 seconds the gap between him and the car behind. 17.7 seconds. Our race leader is in the pits now as well. So you see Fernandez just, I think you saw it. There he is on the right-hand side of the screen. He comes through, takes the race lead. All right, and the 27 still in their retro coffin, making a pit stop. Let's get to Curran. What's their stint timer at? 1 hour, 3 minutes and 15 seconds and counting. They're going to have to pit this lap around, and he does. Here we go. So Oslu now needs to put his foot down straight to the floor. He is about a minute 40 off the leader. Oh, this is going to be good. So it's the big pit stop for Curran. This is a bit of pressure here to get this right. Will he do a driver swap? Will he stay in? We are going to find out momentarily. Making his way down a little bump, a little hill there. Byrne completes his pit stop. So off he goes. Fernandez is up the back straight. Myers in second right now. And Byrne comes out in third. So Fernandez and Myers still need to pit. We're keeping an eye on Curran. He hits his marks. Here's Oslu. He's coming through turn 12 right now. His last lap was a 56 flat. So he's able to get back on the pace. Curran has been in the pits now for 52 seconds total. He's got about another 10 seconds to go. And I don't think it's going to be enough. There's Curran's going. Oslu's coming through now. There's Curran. Oslu. Curran. This is Oslu. And Curran coming out of the pits. I think they've done it. So yes, they have. So Curran manages to hold the lead, as stayed in the car, as did Oslu. And there you go. You can see Curran just marginally ahead of Oslu. It's less than a second the difference between these two. We've got to keep an eye on the front of the race as well. Hasselbrock, he's in P3. He's new in the car. He's essentially our race leader. Fernandez and Myers, they both still need to pit. You've got P4, the number 27 BMW. They've pitted. They can go all the way to the end. So the other car in front of these two is Kares. He still needs to pit in the Audi. But in the meantime, though, Bozic is in fact new in the Lamborghini, and he's gotten through. I missed that. Let's go to the replay and have a look here. Oh, so did that Porsche? So they did all the hard work, all the graft. They put in all the effort, and then it's all been evaporated in a matter of 30 odd seconds. As we go back to live pictures, Oslu and the 24 Ferrari. These guys trying to fight it out for a top 5 finish. The 495 BMW, they're in fact they're pitted, they're all done. So is P4, so is P3. So 10 minutes each left to Fernandez and Myers in their stint time. 45 minutes left in the race. Oslu stayed in the car. Bozic, he took over for Curran, and perhaps that was the difference. Kares comes into the pit, so these are the two cars that we saw battling it out, will come through, and then Bozic was fresh in the car, and we saw just through the first part of the lap there, came out in front, but soon surrendered the lead between those two. And now Oslu in the 24 Denzi Bank Wildcats entry. They're in a comfortable position, 1.4 seconds ahead of their closest rivals, which is Bozic in the Slipstream International. So they've got 44 minutes and a bit of change to make up the ground. In the meantime, that gives us an opportunity to focus on the front of the field. So this is Hasselbrook. He's fresh in the car, so he took over for Byrne. And he is going to be finishing off this race here. So out in front, it's what is it to the leader? 59 seconds between Fernandez and Hasselbrook. So most pit stops have been going at a minute 5. So not quite enough time at this stage to make a stop and keep the lead. So they've got 8 minutes left, 7 minutes left. So 7 minutes left to Fernandez and 8 minutes left to Myers as Hasselbrook hits the line at 54.487. That is only 2/10 slower than their fastest lap of the race for that number 793 McLaren. So Hasselbrook has that thing fired up. They want to charge hard towards the end of this one. 43.5 minutes left. Myers is on his lap here. Let's pick up Fernandez. See what they decide to do. They're going to stretch this out as long as they can. And will Fernandez hand it over to Medina? We'll wait and see. Weather is definitely not going to play a part here. So track still optimum, sunshine all the way, 15 degrees air temperature, matches the track temperature, so relatively low. That was what was put in the driver briefing, that was going to favour lower temperature conditions as Fernandez continues around. What sort of lap time does he put in here? 54.7 compared to Hasselbrock on that last lap, did a 54.487, so 3/10 slower than Hasselbrock. And then Myers, he did a 54.8 on that last lap. He's coming towards the end now. Still has 6 minutes left in his stint timer. So if I go another couple of laps. And it's only about 30 seconds the difference between Fernandez and Myers in terms of stint timers. Cars that will still need to pit again is the 956 Ferrari. Oh, as we pick him up, that was Ferreira. And I think that is a disconnect. By the looks of it, he's coming out of the pits. This will give us a pretty good view here. Oh, and just made contact. And I think that took the other Ferrari out by the looks of things. Can't see them on my timing screen. No, they're still going 956, so in P10. Wow, alright. So a little bit of late race drama going on there. So back to the battle between the 11 and the 24. That lap around, Bozic did a 54.9 to a 55 flat, so a tenth the advantage between the 11 and the 24. And then will Fernandez, Fernandez is going to go around again. These guys are going to stretch it out as far as they possibly can. Their stint time is at 1 hour, 1 minute and 20 and counting. Myers, their stint time is not too far off that. They're at 1 hour and 1 minute. So dare say they'll probably go another lap. These guys are stretching it out right to the very end. We're into the final 40 minutes of this one. 5 hours and 20 minutes down. 40 minutes left to go. And Myers will continue around again. And then the gap between the leader and this car is 58 seconds. So not enough for Fernandez to make a stop. And yeah, here's the 956 coming in to repair that damage. I think they needed to pit anyway, so it's not an out of sequence stop. So it's about 8 seconds off. Fernandez needs to pull out here to have a pit stop in hand. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. Hasselbrock continuing to lap in the 54, so 54.4 on that previous lap, 6/10 faster than Fernandez. And Myers at 55.685 as the 956 in the pits right now. And then this little battle here, 2.3 seconds the gap. A tenth faster, advantage of number 11. Let's see what times they filter through with now. It's a pretty long lap, almost 2 minutes. 55.3 to a 55.1, so 2/10 advantage Bozic on that trip around. And we should see Fernandez coming into the pits this time. Yes, he is in the 888. So the race leader, he runs a little bit deep there. Doesn't make any contact, but that might scrub off a little bit of time. So Myers will definitely have to pit this lap around as well. So, and Fernandez had no time to give either, so he's stationary. Here comes Myers. He will pit on this trip around. There he is. And the green number 63 makes his way into the pits. And then here's Hasselbrock. Fernandez, total pit time. He's got about 25 seconds left. There he is. Here's Hasselbrock. Fernandez moving. Hasselbrock still there, and that's Myers. Now, I think that's Myers still making his way to the stop. Hasselbrock takes the lead with 38 minutes left, and there is Hasselbrock in the lead, and there's Fernandez. So the number 793 resumes the lead of this race with just under 38 minutes remaining. Fernandez hands over to Medina, who will take the 888 McLaren to the end of this one, who sits in P2. Now, this is in P4. That's the 27 BMW, and you can see Myers drops, and the gap between him and the 27, looks like Myers has stayed in the car, is about 39 seconds, and that's Oslu, who's a lap down. So he's completed 164 compared to the leader's 165. So there's only 3 cars on the lead lap there, and that's the top 3, all completing 165 laps. And this might open it up for Bozic here. There's plenty of traffic up ahead. One of the cars is the race leader. Is P3, sorry, is the number 63 Lamborghini. So they're not going to be overtaking them anytime soon. So we go on board with Bozic. He's got the Ferrari up ahead of him. Not too sure which one that is. There's about 5 of them in the race today. Couldn't see any. Oh yeah, I can see the blue flags being waved there. And Bozic is just going to send it up the inside here as the Ferrari gets out of the way in the end. Nice work to him. And they continue through. So the gap between P6 and P7 right now is 1.6 seconds. But the gap out in front, so looks like we don't need any more pit stops except the 263 Ferrari. They're an hour and 2 minutes. 35 minutes left, so there's no one there at half an hour right now. So no more pit stops needed except the 263 Ferrari down there in 14th position. So this will give us a pretty good view of the race as Bozic and Oslu are continuing to fight it out for P6 and P7. Oslu comes through at 55.8 and a 55.6 to Bozic. So that battle will continue all the way down to the very end of this one. But in the meantime, it's Hasselbrock, the 793 McLaren of himself, Matt Byrne and T Farmer. They're in the lead of this one. They have a 9-second gap over the 888 McLaren that belongs to Ronan Medina and Wilson Fernandez. And the 82 Ferrari, where are you? Let's see what happened here. Oh, that's Ferreira making contact with the back of him. And yeah, that didn't look a bit untidy there. So you might see that in the report section after the race. As we get back to these 2 cars. But yeah, so Hasselbrook, Medina, and then Myers as well. So Myers is teamed up with Kevin Fordy, and that's your podium right now. So the difference between P3 and P4 is 40 seconds right now. So the top 3 looking very comfortable at this very, very late stage. Retro Coffin, greetings from Indiana. How is Indiana today? This evening will be mid-evening, sort of mid to late evening on the East Coast. Sort of East Coast Indiana. What else have we got here? Hey, Paulie, how are you, mate? Thanks for jumping on to have a look. Mr. Goose, 57, has been a bit problematic this race. He fully accelerated into turn 1. Alright, so that's Mr. Goose 100. I wonder if that's G. Mosa there in the 100 Ferrari. And yeah, Retro Coffin, greetings from Indiana. Pretty sure Indiana's East Coast. Yeah, East Coast, Midwest, I'm not too sure. Anyway. Alright, so that's the deal right now. Lima having some issues there in the 57 Ferrari. Very wide. That's out of turn 11. Oh. Trying to do a little bit of drifting there. The blue and the red there, they indicate... Oh, sorry, the 11 car, Mr. Goose. Sorry, my mistake. That's Bozic. Oh, yeah, that's that... oh, no, that's... Man... It's very poor. It's just really poor. Right there. Because that Aston Martin wasn't doing anything wrong, and then bang. Yeah, that's quite poor from the 57 Ferrari. I'm going to call it out. So that's Nadeshiko there. He got caught up in that. All right. So the 11 Lamborghini Slipstream International 1.7 seconds the gap. So we're about a tenth faster on the previous lap. Let's see what it is this time around. 2/10 slower. So we've got a little bit of work to do right now. In terms of the race out in front, so Hasselbrock leading it. It's 9.3 seconds the gap between him and the 888 McLaren of Mendina. And then you've got, this is your P3 Myers, who stayed in the car after that pit stop. They're 33 seconds adrift, 43 seconds off the lead. These guys here, I haven't really talked too much about F1 memes teams. They've just been running their own race. They've just been cruising along in the number 27 BMW. They're the owners of the fastest lap of the race. 53.840. No one really near that at this stage. And then the Crazy Squirrel team, haven't seen too much of them either. So the two BMWs have kind of just been running their own race. It's 16.6 seconds between 4th and 5th right now. So those teams of the 3-driver team for the 27 and a 2-driver team for the number 495. And then really the two closest cars on circuit at this stage of the race, with just a tick over 30 minutes left. We're about to embark on the final half an hour of this Pan Am Racing 6-hour Enduro of Paul Ricard. This is certainly the stage of the race where you think, final 30 minutes, thought we'd never get to this point. But we're here. And Bozic and Uzlu. 10th advantage to Uzlu on that previous lap. That's Valentine in the foreground that the 24 needs to navigate. And 8/10 the advantage to Bozic on that previous lap. So the gap is now down to less than a second. That you can see there on your screen. Uzlu trying to get past Valentine here. Have to say that the blue flags would be waving. Valentine's down in P17. Uzlu sends it down the inside. He gets through. Bozic will want to be trying to take full advantage of this. Might just be able to catch him just at the right time here up the back straight. Bozic might even be able to get a little bit of a tow here as well, so even more advantage. Lines that Lamborghini up. See if we can see what speeds he can get up to. 285, I think has been 287. I think it's been the fastest we've seen today. Struggling to get up to 280, 81, 82, 3, 4. Topped out at 284. Valentine. I thought that'd be a perfect opportunity to let the faster driver through. But all's well that ends well. Lost a little bit of time in doing it though, so the gap back out to 1.2 seconds. The difference between Uzlu and Bozic. number 24 Denzi Bank Wildcats entry. Performed really well. So Oslo I've seen the most of. His teammate Khan Bekiroglu. I hope I pronounced that as close to possible, close to good as possible. Let's see what sort of times they give us with now as we embark. We're into the final 30 minutes. And yeah, it was Bozic's turn to lose a little bit of time there. So 3/10 the difference in lap time. Advantage to the number 24. Out in front, it's still 9.5 seconds the lead. Medina was a couple of tenths faster on that previous lap, but not really going to make much of a dent when the gap is at up to 10 seconds now. So these two though, the 11 and the 24, they're going to duke it out to the bitter end. Probably agree with you there, Mr. Goose. .4 seconds. Time will Hasselbrock do here? Wait and see. Joe, the 82, running a bit wide there at the at turn 10. Let's see what happened to him. We'll go on board. This is on the replay. Just had a big moment there at turn 10. Now, it looks like Myers might have had a moment as well. Let's see if we can pick it up. Oh, so that's at the same place, I think. So that's our P3 sitter right now. And, oh, there's a bunch of cars coming through too. So, we'll go back to him. Now, what's the gap between fourth? 28 seconds. Has he done any damage to those tyres? They'd be on fire right now. And now he's got traffic up ahead of him. And his lap time 2:09. So that's about 15 seconds off what they were running. But still a hefty gap of 27 seconds between third and fourth. So that 27, we had a drive through cleared there. The 27 of the BMW in P4. Luck didn't necessarily fall their way. A little bit, closed the gap, but not enough. And just a slight little hiccup for Myers. On the way towards the end of this one, 25 minutes remaining. And the gap between Bozic and Oslu has opened up quite significantly. It's had 3.6 seconds now. So it was around about that 1 second gap, 1 to 1.5. There's the 24 Ferrari, and I think that's Retro Coffin in there. No, Chris Rise is in the number 937 now. So you see the 24 Ferrari making their way through. Quite wide, and Ferrari able to come through with no dramas. There he goes. Yeah, the 82 having some dramas again by the looks of things. No, it's alright. Oh, hang on, I walked away too quick. The car does not look very comfortable to drive right now. The gap between Myers, so this is 1 lap post his incident, 55 flat. What's going on with Joe? I think he's just seeing a few people through. And then the gap still at 27, 28 seconds between P3 and P4 right now. Ah, there we go. These are the other two closest cars on track. 3 seconds. Oslo and Bozic. And then the gap between P1 and P2 is 9.5 seconds, and they are lapping both in the 154.4s right now. So P1 and P2 almost identical in pace. 7 1,000ths of a second separating them, in fact. Hasselbrock does the 54.8. See what Medina does. 54.6, a couple of tenths, but the gap's still 9.3 seconds. So very comfortable still for the number 793 McLaren. As this is Bozic just making his way past Chris Rise in the 937 Porsche. Oh, number 82 Ferrari. Ah, no, we've got 263 Sapien. So, and Lima. Oh, it's going backwards. That's it. Oh, that's really quite poor. Yeah, that's the 57 Ferrari. And have a look at that thing that's battered and bruised all over the place. So, it does not look comfortable to drive whatsoever. And oh, that's really bad, you know. Like, this is just seriously, that's just rubbish. That's really just rubbish. So you don't like, yeah. You'd be better off just exiting the race. Just don't want to ruin anyone else's race. There you go, disqualified. There you go, by race control. Done. All right. That punishment certainly suits the crime. And then Sapien has that drive through as well. So back to the lead out in front. So it's still, yeah, Hasselbrock and Medina. Myers hasn't had any other hiccups. And then Bozic, 4.4 seconds. Let's see what time Medina does here. 55 flat, so a couple of tenths slower. So, with just a tick over 20 minutes left, we've got the it's been kicked from the server. Yep, 57. Alright. Cool. So we're down to 18. I'm not too sure how many we started with, but it was a little bit more than 18. Poor old Vatican, the Nissan, was out pretty early by the sounds of things. Is cleared for the 82, and Bozic was a couple of tenths faster on that previous lap, one before the last one then, but is a tenth slower than Osley. So this has all just started to even itself out after the 11. Was able to jump them in the pit stop, and then within the first 3 turns of the lap back into the race. I think they might have gotten caught up somehow with the number 12 Porsche in there. That's Deniz in there right now. This is a race for position. Sapien has just served that drive-through penalty. Chasing down number 56, Nadeshiku. He's teamed up with Nadeshiku. Where are you? Bennett Lur and Mihaly Sipes. Some tricky tongue twister names in this race. Less than 19 minutes left now. Joe's still in the pits. And things have really settled back down into a rhythm, and we're just bringing it home now. Alright, so plenty of chat going on in the Discord. Stop go penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Number 82. Yeah. Cool. Alright, so these two continue to have a nice little scrap. 13th and 14th. Gap out in front between Hasselbrock and Mendina. Still at 9+ seconds. Lapping in the 54.7s was Hasselbrock. So a couple of... So these two of the closest cars on the circuit, Bozic and Uzlu, still 4.1 seconds the difference between P6 and P7. Lapping very, very similar times, the 24 and the 11. So no movement there. And then 10 seconds the gap between first and second. 50 out to 51 seconds between second and third. And it's still 28+ seconds between Myers and Corneve in P3 and P4. So that's where the race is at right now. Yeah, not much going on right now. T-Farmer, GTMR. Great race Pan Am. So T-Farmer giving some props to Pan Am Racing, putting on another great event. Do a lot of Enduro racing, Pan Am. It's a good league to be a part of. And these two, Notashiko and Sapien, down in 13th and 14th, having their own race. Just that the Aston Martin, the back end, just stepping out ever so slightly. This is good stuff from these two at the end of this one. Final quarter hour to go. 5 hours and 45 minutes passed. 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes to go. Makes a little bit of contact there. 7:52 in game time. So you can see sign starting to set a little bit. Deniz had a bit of an issue there. Let's see if we can go back and take a look. We picked it up right at the end. So that looks like it's at turn 10. Seen quite a few cars there come unstuck. It's getting going again. That was the... That was the BMW, I think, of 495 it was. We pick up just running a little bit deep there through 14, through Latour. And then the scrap for 6th and 7th is also simmered right down. 5.2 seconds the gap between 6th and 7th right now. Uzlu done a great job to soak up the pressure that would have been there at the pit stop between him and Bozic. Yeah, still putting in some pretty solid time. 56.1 was his last lap. So he's been in the 55s, 56s for most of this one. Sapien Back to these two here in 13th and 14th. Aston Martin looks like some battle scars there. 69, the Ranch Blasters. What happened to these guys? I would have thought a lineup of Jimmy, Brad Lee, and Curtis Ruston would have probably found themselves a little bit higher. So perhaps, I don't know. I just would have thought you would have seen that 69 Lamborghini a little bit further up the field than P15 right now. The talk of ranch continues on in the Pan Am Discord chat. There's these two, Ricardo Sapien. See if we can get a livery for him. Team Uru Camp, number 13 Aston Martin. And they're just playing out time right now. Less than 12 minutes left. Might as well do a quick rundown and the team. So as I mentioned, Hayden Hasselbrock, Matt Byrne and T Farmer is the 793 McLaren team. Wilson Fernandez and Ronan Mendina currently sitting P2 in the 888 McLaren. Then it's the team of Antonin Myers and Kevin Forney. First of the 3-car teams, Eugene, Mikhail Kornev and Maxim. And the number 27 BMW F1 Memes team. As I mentioned, they've had a pretty quiet race. And the Crazy Squirrel team, the number 495 BMW. Olya Athor and Pavel Vinogradov. The number 25 Ferrari, seen plenty of these guys, the Denty Bank Wildcats entry of Orhan Uzlu and Khan Berkaroglu. Liam Curran and Chris Bozic in the number 11 Lamborghini for Slipstream International. Those guys are doing a good job. Matt Artem and Juan Carres in the American United Racing Audi in the number 25. Ali Ponset and Gregory Moser in the number 100 Ferrari. They're in 9th right now, so great job from them. Another 3 driver entry, Augusto Gribble, Eduardo Diniz and Thiago Mikel. P10 in the number 12 Porsche. So a top 10 finish is a phenomenal effort. Well done to those guys right now. They've still got 10 minutes left though, so we'll just won't put the mocker on them. Jamal Bustowi and Vincent Toket, 956 Ferrari. They're in 11th position right now. Chris Rice and Retro Coffin in the Coral Cove Porsche in 12th position, the number 937. The number 56 Aston Martin, as we were talking about before, with Bennett Law, Nadeshiko and Mihaly Sipes. Vicosa and Ricardo Sapien in the 263 Ferrari, sitting there in 14th. I mentioned these guys earlier, Rustin Lee and Jimmy in the number 69 Lamborghini. Another 3-driver team, Riccardo Bianchi, Gianni Capri and Hudson Joe in the 82 Ferrari. Ryan Valentine and Zach Truxell, 17th in the 128 Mercedes. And the last of the 3-driver teams, Spencer Guthrie, John Paula Yulung and Kevin Barfield in the number 75, bringing up P18. And these two continue to fight it out. This is the closest on-track action that we've got. The gap out in front between P1 and P2 has continued to grow. It is now at 10 seconds between Hasselbrock and Mendina. Hasselbrock was lapping about 8/10 faster on that previous lap than Mendina, so he has this well under control. Still half a second off his fastest lap of the race at 54.2. 180 laps have gone. Track still optimum, 14 degrees air temperature, matches the track temperature right now. So they're getting a little bit slippery out there by now, you'd have to think, but there'd be a lot of rubber laid down. So drive-through penalty, car number 82, that's the Ferrari. They're down there in P16, that's Joe. They'll have to serve that in the remaining 8 minutes. Starting to get some nice sunset shots about to tick over 8 PM in-game local time. And these two cars are giving us the best on-track action. Bozic still chasing down Oslu. He was 3/10 faster on that previous lap. But the gap is at 5 seconds between those two. Good racing between these two right now. This has been fun stuff to watch. Just continuing to probe away, Sapien. Oh no, that's the wrong one. No, that's still the wrong one. Alright. 1.8 seconds the difference out in front. We're still hovering around 10 seconds the gap between Hasselbrook and Mendina. So Hasselbrook, the 793 McLaren, has this well in hand. Reason I've got it on these two cars, these are the two closest cars on circuit. Just to tick over 6 minutes. The 82 clears their drive-through. They're all done. Another little scrap going on here as well as Valentine and Yulung down in 17th and 18th. So we've got some battles for final positions. P3 looks like it's all sewn up as well. That gap has drifted out now to 33 seconds, even after Meyer's little mistake that he made a little while ago now. So the 63 Lamborghini in a very, very solid spot right now to take home P3. They're lapping in the 54.9s as well. So fastest of that leading pack. Hasselbrook on that last lap did a 55 dead flat. Mendina did a 54.9, so a tenth the difference, but still 10 seconds as Sapien having a look down the inside of Nadeshiko, who runs a little bit wide. Seen him being in an overtaking position a couple of times through here, just can't quite get it done. Sapien in the 263 Ferrari, the QV Motorsports. Didn't get a livery in by the looks of things. As we've got 4.5 minutes left. That equates to probably just a couple of more laps, maybe 3 laps. We'll see where Hasselbrook, at what stage he hits the line, about another 40 seconds away. So yeah, probably 2 more laps left once Hasselbrook gets to the start finish line. 182 laps. Finish on about 184, which is a huge effort around this track. As I said though, if you're going to do 184 laps of any track, Paul Ricard, pretty good choice, I would think. See what Sapien can do this time around. What sort of top speed can he get to here? 280, 384, 85. 285, topped out at. I dare say, even though it's down 13th and 14th, these two guys would be really enjoying this. It's going to be fun stuff after 5 hours and 57 minutes of racing. And they're still separated by a couple of tenths. And they're enjoying it right down to the very end. which is only a matter of minutes away. 3 minutes, in fact. Hasselbrock is halfway around this lap. About a minute from now, should cross the line to begin the final trip around the 5.82 kilometre circuit. And that means Sapien only has another lap and a half. Try and see if he can get past Nadeshiko. That is P3 in the background. And that was Oslo as well, by the looks of things. Yeah, in the 24 Ferrari. Yeah, they're a lap down as well, so they're on 182 laps. So there's only 5 cars on the lead lap, and that's the top 5. And one of the cars, the car, on the lead lap. The final lap, as we get the notification there, is the 793 McLaren. This has been a 3-driver team effort. Aiden Hasselbrock, Matt Byrne and T. Farmer. Rotated through this car today, and I think Sapien did it. So Sapien managed to get past Nadeshiko. Let's have a quick look. I've caught the end of it. Sorry, my apologies. Good work to Sapien. No, finally gets it done on what is, I think, the last lap from them. There, 5 laps down. Final lap now. Yeah, the second notification. Gets past the Audi, the number 25, being driven by Artem at the moment. Artem just giving him a bit of a hurry up. 280 kilometres, it's relatively slow, comparatively. Oh, it's Sapien and Nadeshiko swapping positions once again. But Hasselbrock, it's been an 11-second gap. These guys have been in the lead the whole time I've been broadcasting anyway, so which has been the last sort of couple of hours. And this 3-driver team is only a couple of turns away from taking home the 6-hour Enduro Pan Am Racing, 1,000 kilometres around Paul Ricard. Through the final turn comes the number 73 McLaren. Congratulations to Aiden Hasselbrock, Matt Byrne and T. Farmer. They take home P1, 6 hours, and they take the checkered flag first. Ronan Mendina and Wilson Fernandez, they're going to take home P2 to Vacuum Racing. Congratulations to those guys. That's a massive effort as well. But it was the 793 McLaren, which was a little bit too good for everyone else today. In the end, it was a 10-second gap, so a relatively close race considering we've been going for 6 hours. And here's Antonin Myers and Kevin Forney. He's just coming through turn 11 now. But, yeah, the 3-driver team of the 793, I don't know where they are now. There they are. They've gone back to the pits, the 888. We'll watch that green number 63 make their way towards the line. Final turn. It's got Sapien and Nadeshiko having their scrap till the end. But congratulations to Antonin Myers and Kevin Forney. They take home the final podium position in P3. Well done to them, to the number 63 Lamborghini. Coming home in 4th, it's going to be F1 Memes Racing Team. It's Mikhail Kornev behind the wheel right now. Eugene Goncharak and Maxim Dolgopayatov. I do apologise for butchering your name there, but well done to those guys. P4 and fastest lap of the race. The number 27 BMW crosses the line. Congratulations to those guys. Olya Athor and Pavel Vinogradov. It's a name that I've definitely seen in Pan Am before. They're going to take home a top 5 finish for Crazy Squirrel Racing. The 495 BMW crosses the line. Then we've got Ohun, Uzlu, Khan, Berkelgo, Khan. So Curran and Bozic finished 7th. Artem and Kares in 8th. Ponset and Mosa in 9th. Gribble, Deniz and Tiago Mikel 10th. Retro Coffin 11th with Chris Rice. 12th Lure. They're all changing now. But anyway, that is the race, everyone. That's the 6 hours of Paul Ricard in the books. And it was won by Aidan Hasselbrook, Matt Byrne, T. Farmer, Antonin Myers, Kevin Forney second, and Eugene Goncharek, Mikhail Kornev, and Maxime in P3. Congratulations to all those involved. 6 hours. It's a massive effort from everyone. And a big thanks goes to all the admins of Pan Am who do such a great job putting on races for everyone. But that is it. That's the 6 hours all done and dusted. I think we'll get back to the Summer Championship next week, hopefully. But that is pretty much it from here. So, well done to everyone. 6 hours. That's a huge effort. What did we start with? I think we started with 20 plus cars. But until next time, so enjoy the rest of your weekend, your evening, your morning, your afternoon, whatever you're doing. My name's Nick. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Plenty of action coming up. Next round of the Ruse PC Monday Night Championship in Australia coming up tomorrow. Check it out tomorrow night. In the meantime,